want to talk about the Tony Harris and Jermell Charlo 2. I know that about a week ago I had the full fight on here, kind of broken down. I took out all the dry spots in the fight, and it was just nothing but every moment of action in the fight. I took it down because I don't know. I just took it down, man. I mean, just know that Bushido Boxing is going to make a big change in the near future here. I'm going to have you guys for some very good content for everybody. It's just a matter of time, okay? Hit the like button for your boy. But I wanted to break down the Tony Harris and Jermell Charlo fight. I got very good understanding how this fight played out because, I sat there for hours and days breaking the fight down, editing and shit. But it was a good-ass fight, man. Super, super good. This is the fight I've been looking forward to all year. I think this fight should be a lot bigger than what it is, but you know how boxing works, especially in America. It's not really, mainstream. But, yeah, man, real good fight, real good matchup. 50-50 on paper. We saw the first fight played out. A lot of people felt that Jermell Charlo won the fight. The commentary was so bad. It was just so bad. Lennox Lewis ought to be ashamed of himself for just putting out such bad commentary. I mean, he could fight, but, man, when he talking this shit, it's like he don't, like, what are you saying, bro? They wasn't counting some shots that Tony Harrison was landing. He was just super biased. It was the Charlo show. But Tony Harrison ended up getting the victory that night. And I think that in the rematch, I think Jermell Charlo's biggest problem is himself. The dude has all the attributes to be one of the best fighters in the sport. He has the intangibles to be one of the best fighters in the sport. He has the conditioning. He has the speed. He has the power. He has all the attributes. But I think his biggest problem is himself. I think that he should realize that he didn't put the first fight past him. That's what I'm looking to say. He didn't put the first fight past him. He's still blaming the judges. He's blaming everybody else. Instead of just saying, you know what, I should have done more. And now in this fight, I'm going to make sure I do more. Instead of accepting the loss for what it is, and moving forward, he's still holding on to it, feeling that he got robbed, trying to play the victim, whining and shit. But as far as them fighting, very, very, very competitive matchup. This is what boxing is all about. Two guys that don't like each other. This is a grudge match. I think I'm getting sick. I think that Tony Harrison could have done more as far as, letting his hands go. He was being very cautious in the fight, very patient, very cautious. He had stamina issues in the past against guys like Willie Nelson and Jared Hurd, where the fight, he was utterly dominating these guys, beating the shit out of them. Doing what he normally did prior. Tony Harrison do have 21 knockouts. Most of his fights are by knockout, most of his wins. So he came out there fighting those guys like that, and he ended up gassing out by the ninth round and getting knocked out in both fights in the ninth round. So in the fight with Jermell, he came out a lot more cautious. He was very selective on his punch output, very defensive. Tony Harrison is a super, super textbook fighter. If you want to learn some textbook boxing, if they had a textbook of boxing, Tony Harrison should be on the front cover. I mean, his stance and everything is just so traditional, just super textbook. And I think his style is possibly a bad matchup for Jermell. However, I feel that Jermell is a guy that could do a lot. I feel that he could emulate styles. I feel that there's a lot more things that Jermell Charlo could do. I'm not necessarily sure if Derek James is the best coach for him. I think he could learn some things from Derek James as far as the seek and destroy style and putting pressure on guys and attacking the body and things of that nature. But Jermell Charlo at one point was more of a boxer guy. So I think he should mix that up as well with the aggression. And I think this fight will be a lot easier for him. I think he needs to be really trying to make Tony work, not standing still so much, just staring at him. I think that gave Tony Harrison a lot more time to think. Tony Harrison has a pretty high IQ. So I think Jermell Charlo needs to really push the pressure on him and keep him on the ropes, keep him moving, tire his legs out, because Jermell Charlo, I think, is the better conditioned athlete. Even though Tony Harrison was able to survive the full 12 rounds, I think that if Jermell Charlo pushed the pressure on him, I think that could really work in his favor. But yeah, Tony Harrison has a very good right hand that he didn't really throw too much in this fight. The first fight, he threw a lot of jabs. He when he did throw a combination, it was a 1-2-3. He was just very methodical in his approach, very methodical. I think in this fight, there's a lot more emotions involved. You know, the first fight was like just a respect thing, but in this one, there's a lot more emotions involved. So these guys are gonna be really coming out to hurt each other. I can't call it, you guys. I honestly still really can't call it. I'm leaning towards Tony because I feel that he might have his number. You know, Tony Harrison's style is a bad matchup for the way Jermell was fighting. So Jermell Charlo is going to have to switch it up, give Tony Harrison a lot of different looks, hit him with some shots that he won't see coming. You know, he might want to straighten up his punches more, stop winding up, and just keep the pressure on him because he's the better conditioned athlete. Just make Tony Harrison work. You know, keep him working hard. You know, you got to also remember the fact that Tony Harrison's been off for a year. You know, Jermell Charlo had a fight with Jorge Cota a few months back, so he's the more active fighter. So he should go out there and really put the pressure on Tony. And for Tony, I think he should use his right hand more because I feel that he left it in the locker room. I think that he should work the body more to slow Charlo down. You know, use the straight right hand to the body, straight left hand to the body. Jermell Charlo, for what it's worth, in the first fight, a lot of people probably didn't notice it because the fight was just, the way the commentary really threw it off for a lot of people. But by me breaking it down the way I broke it down, I seen every punch that was thrown in that fight. And a lot of those punches, you guys, was landed on the gloves from both fighters. You know, they both was very, very... They both had their defense on point. You know, they both kept the defense real tight, had their hands up. There was a lot of respect there. So I think in the second fight, I think it's going to be a little bit different, depending on the emotions. You know, depending on how they come out. I think Jermell Charlo should really start pushing the pace early from the first bell. I know he did that in the first fight. It didn't necessarily work on his favor. Maybe, let me think about it real quick, because I'm freestyling this right now. He don't want to give Tony Harrison. He want to keep the pressure on him from 1 through 12. Just keep the pressure on him. That's his best chance. Because Tony Harrison is an IQ type fighter. You know, he's shown in the past that he's more of a go-get-it, knock-you-out type dude, but he also is a boxer, you know, a pure boxer. So he don't want to give Tony Harrison time to think, you know, get used to his time and speed. He might want to change the speed on his punches as well. You know, Jermell Charlo in the first fight was throwing a lot of those punches, a lot of same speed, and he was just hitting fresh air. So he might want to change the speed on his punches, tighten up his punches a little bit. His defense was okay. He just need to be relaxed. You know, he's just so amped up. Just keep your punches short and straight, and just keep the pressure on him. You know, you don't necessarily even got to throw punches to keep pressure on him. Just keep the pressure on Tony. That's his best chance. And but with Harrison, I mean, pretty much increase the output. Increase the output, man. You know, throw your right hand more, work the body more, a lot more feints, and that's pretty much all he really needs to do. Because I feel that his style is kind of a bad matchup for Jermell, but Jermell definitely has the intangibles to pull off the victory. But tell me what you guys think, man. Who you got winning this fight? This is one of my few breakdown predictions. I'm starting to do predictions now. I may not be the best at it, but I'm going to get better as I go. I'm just doing this off the top of my head from what I've seen based off the first fight and from what we all know about both of these fighters. But yeah, man, tell me what you guys think. Hit the like button, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.